Good morning. If you want to come a bit closer, because we're not allowed amplification, we are allowed a microphone so people at home can hear. So if you're going to be able to hear, I mean, I've got quite a big voice. I think Cara's got an exceptionally loud voice, but many of you may not. This is just a little bit of housekeeping. Can anyone just see on the chat if people can say that they can hear? Can you just have a look? Because they'll say if they can't.
People are chatting.
Right.
Oh, they're saying can hear fine.
Brilliant. Okay. Right. Okay. So, if you would like to come and speak, the whole point of Speaker's Corner in the UK is because, unlike you, we don't have a constitution that supposedly is our right to speak and say things whatever we like, as long as it's not inciting violence or. Well, inciting violence. So come and speak. Men are welcome to speak as well as women. Women first, I'm afraid, a little bit like the Titanic. Try not to speak for too long, because no matter how entertaining your speech is, it will be too long for other people. So try and keep it short, say what you need to say, then everybody gets a chance. But can I just say, welcome to the White House. The scary thing is, in the UK, the thing that stops us being so terrible and terrifying to our kids is the NHS. And unfortunately, your healthcare is absolutely full of people that would like to annihilate children's bodies, and then other people who are too cowardice to actually do anything about it and speak against it. So there are many things happening in the US, and I'm going to probably leave some of those issues to some of you actual Americans, rather than preach to you what is happening in your country. But I will say this: you have to take back the language. You cannot ever use the language of trans activism and give it any validation whatsoever. Because that is the thing. If you can't speak about what is happening to women, if the word woman no longer means woman, and it means anyone who identifies as a woman, then you are in really dangerous territory. Cara and I went to speak to staffers yesterday, and it's just really interesting that even in polite circles, even in polite Republican circles, they are using the words like trans woman, transgender, as if those people are genuinely a different category of human. And once you say she, trans, which I'm sure I'm preaching to the converted, but once you say she for a man or trans woman for a man, you lose the ability to be able to speak clearly about what it is and where that man is welcome. Can I just interrupt myself? Someone's left some keys on the floor. So, this is why it's important. We are building a movement. You have different groups in the United States of America. We do have some Standing for Women groups now in the United States of America. We believe that our message at Standing for Women is really, really clear. We are not giving up the word woman, not under any circumstances. We are not we are not giving way female language under any circumstances. And if we have that as an absolute basis, as a fundamental value of everything you do going forward, I think the war is more easily won. I think more people in the United States of America are waking up, thanks to Lyra Thomas, and various other insane things that are happening in the US. So I will give way to the next speaker, but come up, take a microphone, tell everybody who you are and where you come from, and then we will just take it from there. So thank you.
So important to have your
thanks so much. Okay, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just a question. In your observations, what are you seeing as the political incentives to support men competing in women's sports?
It's, well, money. What, people accepting it, or the men who actually want to do it?
The politicians pushing men competing in women's sports.
Well, because transgenderism is a quasi-religious, dogmatic part of nonsense. And so if you question any of it, the whole thing falls apart. So you can't say that men's bodies are different to women's in sport, because then you have to admit they're different to women's in prisons and toilets, and any other little strand of this ideology. I just think it's as simple as that. It's such a fragile belief system that it cannot have any tiny chinks in its armour, because then it just all falls apart. And I think politicians know that. I don't really believe that any of the politicians who advocate for this crap genuinely believe it. I don't think that, I don't know, I don't think Biden sniffs the hair of transsexual men. I think he's well aware of who smells like a little girl and who doesn't. I don't think that AOC genuinely thinks that Charles Clymer is a woman. I just don't think. I think these things are nonsense. I tell this story, and I'm going to tell it again. And I think this is something that men, as wonderful and understanding as you are, you don't get, because you don't. It doesn't happen to you. So I was in the toilet at McDonald's, because, you know, I'm a classy woman. And I was in the toilets at McDonald's after holiday, and a man comes in, because for a start, he's chaotic in the way he opens the door, and then he speaks in an accent, in a language I don't understand, but it's a man's voice all the same. And I literally don't breathe until I'm sure the door is shut and he is out of that space. I don't breathe, I don't move, I even stop whatever it is I'm doing on the toilet mid-flow, because I can't have any noise that prevents me from understanding what threat that is that has come into the space. Now, women, every woman, whatever your colour, whatever your class, whatever your age, maybe, we get it. But what's happening to these young people is they are being gaslit out of their own intuition. They are being gaslit out of being able to say that they are frightened of men, because they're told it's not kind. They're told that a boy in their space that they feel uncomfortable about, it's their problem, not his. And so that's the worry. Cara, when she was on Tucker Carlson, she sort of said that, you know, the language for the things that we take for granted that we can speak about, for younger children and for young people, that language no longer exists. It is ceasing to be able to be said that a woman is an adult human female on a college campus right across your country and mine. Nobody can say that they're genuinely frightened, or they think the guy's a creepy pervert if he's in a woman's toilet, which he is. Any man that goes into a woman's space, no matter how he identifies, as far as I'm concerned, is a predator. He wishes to cause harm either by negating to consider women, or by actually deliberately causing harm to women. And so that's why we're here. Thank you so much for coming to the White House, to this Speaker's Corner. I really hope that, if nothing else, what you start doing is you start taking it upon yourself to have these meetings. Before I go, did you want to speak? Yeah. Right, I'm not going to round up. I was going to go and do a talk in New York, and then I just said to Cara, I might come to Washington. Do you think we could do a talk? And she was like, how about outside the White House? So that was brilliant. Look, we are going to win. And we're going to win because we are not going to allow the mutilation of children. We are going to win because we are going to speak truthfully. We are going to call men men. We are not going to use words that don't mean anything, like trans woman. We are going to stand against school boards trying to gaslight and indoctrinate your children. We are going to win because we are truthful, we are righteous, and we are... what are we? We are right. We are right. And
We're pro-reality.
we are pro-reality. And do you know why else we're going to win?
Because you never lose.
Because I never lose. Thank you, everyone.